Hello everyone, welcome. In this video, we are going to talk about a very important concept which is known as branching strategy. This is very important for any project whenever you are working with a enterprise level of project or even if you are working with a small size of project. So as so far we have seen how we can develop the pipelines using Jenkins, using GitHub Actions, using Azure DevOps, where we have talked about various branches, how we can develop the pipeline based out of a branch. In this video, we will talk about what actually a branching strategy is and how we should develop an efficient branching strategy for our project. And then after, in the coming videos, we'll talk about how we can develop the branching CI/CD using Bitbucket tool. So as we have talked about master branch, we know that there is a master branch which is a branch that is going to contain the complete metadata similar to the master, similar to the production environment. In other terms, we can say that our master branch contains whatever metadata we deploy to the production environment. Hotfix is a branch which we use in order to create some sort of immediate deployment. So I'll give you an example here. Suppose that you are there in production environment. There is a very small effect you need to send a report to the production environment. This is very immediate and end user wants it ASAP. So what you will do is instead of going through with the complete release like creating a feature branch for the developer branch or a bug fix branch for a developer branch and then send it to the scratch or do the things and all, what we do usually is we have a hotfix branch, we create a hotfix changes over there and directly deploy to the production environment, and then the production environment is becomes the new version. Basically the master becomes the version 0.2 as you see here, and then we directly deploy to the production environment. That is where our hotfix branches are being used. And then when we talk about release branches are used for a particular release. So in any project we define different release cycles. Like in release version 1 we are going to deploy these functionalities, then in release version 2 we are going to deploy these functionalities, and then in release version 3 we are going to deploy these kind of functionalities. So that is when we use the release. From where we create a release? Usually when we talk about a release, at a very initial we don't have any master branch, we don't have any release. We have developer branch, then from out of developer we have some features, and then we create a release from the developer branch. And this is where we create the release for the first time initially. When we have got the release, we usually copy from the master branch. Once we have released at least one time, we copy from the master branch. Then we have got development branch. These are the branches where our developer works. So developer branch is directly cloned either from the master branch or from a hotfix branch. Why? Because hotfix sometimes contains the latest data that you have developed or you have fixed. That is what the name says, hotfix. In the developer branch or from the developer branch, developer doesn't make direct changes to the developer branch. They either make changes to the feature branches or they make changes to the bug fix branches. So from where we create the feature branch, we create the feature branch from the developer branch directly. You see here like this. And then suppose that we are creating a feature where we wanted to give the ability for the order management. So what we will do is developers will create a feature branch called order management or something similar to, or saying that OMS. And then from that feature, if in the order management there are various features like we have order place, then we have order confirmation, order cancellation, return order, refund, invoices. There are so many sub modules, we say that sub features for that. So out of this feature branch we do create the sub features for a particular feature branch. Once we are done, what we do is we merge our latest feature branch with the developer branch. Once everything is done, what we do is we deploy to the developer environment, do the testing, and if testing and everything goes well, what we do is we either deploy to the release branch, and then from release branch we can deploy to the production, and from production we can go to the master branch, which is going to be our version 1.0. This is the first life cycle. When it comes to the second life cycle, we again, what we do is in the developer branch we create a PR from master to developer to have the latest updates whatever we had in the master branch, and then again start creating the feature branches from the developer branch, and then start working on that. So this is overall branching strategy that any enterprise level project or a small level project follows. There you might introduce multiple branches as well, like you can also introduce some sort of branches which you name as QA, where you have the code to the QA Salesforce environment. You can also have some sort of branches called UAT, which will be basically representing the UAT inside Salesforce. You can also have some sort of integration where you have some integration environment. So the top branches, whatever the top branches we have the associated Salesforce environment as well. Like for master, we have production. For hotfix, we have production. For release, we have production. Then for development, we have development branch. For features, we have development branch. Then if we talk about QA branch, then we have QA Salesforce environment, UAT Salesforce environment, as well as integration Salesforce environment. We can create this QA from the our master branch. So whatever the data will be having initially, it will be coming from our master branch. So this is all about branching strategy, how you should follow or you should develop your branching strategy. Based out of this, you can develop your own branching strategy. And how we are going to create the pull request and how does we do all those things, we have already discussed over here. So yeah, this is it for this video. Thank you for your time, and from next video onwards we will talk about how to set up a Bitbucket pipeline. Thank you.